Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
If you love things historic, you'll love our next guest, Marc Fennell. He's gone to the edge of the earth to uncover and unwrap some incredible historic artefacts, all stolen by the British. He's crossed the globe from Kenya to Canada and everywhere in between, all, he tells us, in the name of research. Yeah, right. He's got this epic show. It's up to season 2, Stuff the British Stole. Marc, hello.
Hello, how are you? I swear it was all for work.
Sure,
I swear all of it was
sure.
for work.
So, Stuff the British Stole, as you say, there's enough now to be in season number 2. What's some of the stuff that you're uncovering this time around?
Well, we've got everything from a mummified Egyptian child to things in the crown jewels to actually seeds, the seeds of rubber. The rubber plant was smuggled out of Brazil, and Brazilians are still quite angry about it. And even, I think, the biggest one of all is what they call the Parthenon marble sculptures, which sat on top of the Acropolis in Greece for 2,000 years. You ask any Greek person about this, and they will very comfortably tell you they were stolen by the British.
Are they the Elgin marbles? Is that the same thing?
Yes, they get very uppity if you call it the Elgin marbles now, because Elgin's the guy that took them, apparently.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So where are the marbles now?
Well, they've spent the last 200 years sitting in the British Museum in London, and for about that long, the Greeks and the British have argued over who owns them. The Greeks say it was stolen, and the British say, well, they bought it legally and all's fair. And it's raged for the longest time. And actually, one of the things that we want to do is look at people who are trying to solve the problem, which is how I ended up on the top of this mountain in Italy with a robot, a diamond-tipped robot, and a bunch of renegade archaeologists who are trying to do a perfect 3D replica in Italian marble of the Parthenon marbles to give for free to the British Museum if they'll give the originals back to Greece. It's wild.
So the variety of things that you've found that the British have taken, will the British ever give them back? Are there some that have been returned?
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. So over the years, the show started off as a podcast and then became a TV show. And one of the things we did early on in the podcast was a bunch of spears that was taken from the Indigenous community around Botany Bay. Mm. And actually, they have been returned. Now, I'm not claiming credit for that. A lot of hard work went into that. But I do think there is it's also not every object necessarily needs to go home. I think sometimes a lot of people are quite happy for their work, their culture, their history to be an ambassador for them over in the UK or America or wherever. But most people would like them to at least tell the truth about how they got them. Mm. You know, was it a gift, or was it a gift while somebody was pointing a gun at you? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Ah, because I guess, what if they had a receipt for the marbles?
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because that kind of exists, right? So at the time the marbles were taken from Greece, the Greeks weren't actually in charge. It was part of an Ottoman Empire. And the British, that Lord Elgin you mentioned earlier, he had this letter that was basically permission from what sort of like middle management of the Ottoman Empire, saying, hey, if something's fallen down there, you can take it for research purposes. Problem is, he didn't just take things that fallen down. He had people go up there and carve huge chunks of marble off the temple. And actually that receipt per se is a copy. The original's never been found. So the whole kind of legality of their ownership is pretty flimsy.
And the British Museum would look quite different without all these things,
Yeah, there'd be
wouldn't
nothing
it?
in there.
No.
Do you know what? It's funny that you say that, because people often say that, and actually, at any one moment, the British Museum has about 1% to 5% of its entire collection on display. So, you know what? They'd probably be all right. They've got other stuff they can fill it with. And I think there's a bigger question of if you take everything from one place to its country of origin, you kind of diminish our capacity to learn as well. Which is why it's not just about taking things back to where they came from. That would end up being quite boring. We would learn less from each other. But that doesn't mean you should necessarily lie about how you got things. And I think the whole show is really just a reaction to when you walk through museums, you see all this stuff and they've got these nice polite plaques, but actually sometimes the real story about how they got there is way more interesting, if nothing else.
I've got a mate that nicked Craig Lowndes' bumper from his Commodore back in...
Do you think the British Museum would be interested?
That's up in his shed. He's very proud of that, because that was hard to get. You know, there was a lot of people...
Do you know what?
Had to fight another lot of people.
It doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt to ask the British Museum and see if they'll take it. What's the worst that could happen?
You're interested in Craig Lowndes' bumper.
I'd want a receipt, though.
Marc, it's always great to talk to you. You can watch Stuff the British Stole every Monday at 8 o'clock on the ABC and ABC iView. Marc Fennell, thank you.
Thanks, guys.